Satu Day, what's up, y'all? Early Sunday morning here. I guess the weekly rundown. I don't know why, but for some reason this year, Chuck Nunface did a video on his before it actually happened, but it's like 1 month, one knife challenge kind of thing. And I thought, let's give it a try. So for y'all that don't follow me on Instagram, I chose the Miller Brothers T1. A couple reasons, I guess. Main one is like I don't really carry it as much as I should, especially with the price it costs. And I haven't really got to know the knife like really well because of that. Like, don't get me wrong, I've definitely used it and stuff, but I've not exclusively used it for some period of time. Like to know, like if this steel is good. This is the only one I've ever had Z-Wear. If it'll rust, all the things that you kind of worry about, I guess, in a daily thing. But not really in a collection thing because you don't use a knife that much, and you can choose if it's raining today. Let's take a stainless versus a tool steel. Excuse me, and all that kind of crap. So, yeah. So that's why I chose the T1. I can already tell you this is day 4. I'm already kind of tired of fidgeting and carrying this knife because I'm used to a variety. There's rules on this. Like if you look on Instagram, I think there's a group. I got invited to it. It's just too much drama. One of my buddies got kicked out right away. Killer Knives Kevin, which, I don't really like. I don't know why he got kicked out or not like that. I don't know what happened. He says he get kicked out every year, so he obviously didn't care. But like it seemed like with all these little groups, there always got to be some kind of drama. And like I'm about the knives, man. Like I'm not really about the drama. Same with politics and crap. Like yeah, I get it, but it's just not my thing, right? So I avoided the group, but I'm trying to adhere to the rules kind of thing. But I'm trying to adhere to it. Like their rules were something like you can fidget with other knives and that sort of thing. Like, obviously, I work on more than just my knife, so I'm going to have to fidget with somebody else's knife. So, but as far as like carrying and using, I'm trying to carry and just use this T1 as much as possible. I've pretty much had to strop it pretty much almost daily. Not that it super needed it, but if I want a keen edge, pretty much had to strop it daily, which is fine, no big deal. So let's see how far that goes. I don't know how far it'll go. I mean, you'll see why here in a minute. But I'm going to try as long as I can to just keep the T1 in pocket. And even if I fail, I'm going to try to keep that plus something else in my pocket. So early this week, work was kind of, or the amount of time that I had was kind of more than I expected. So I kind of explored a little bit with a few different things. Hey, sweetheart. Miss Socks is down here rubbing on my feet. I just decided, like, I think I showed you guys this tray last week or the week before, I can't remember. And the detail on this one was always kind of a little bit on the lacking compared to like the other Treyu I had. Although I like the style of this one much better. As I fail it there. I started to experiment with double detents. So I don't know if it's going to be apparent there, like that I drilled another hole here. This one was done wrong. So I didn't get this one as good as I wanted to, but it was the first one I tried. So I was like, all right, I'm just gonna try it. Worst case scenario, it's got an extra hole in it. It's not really a big deal. Like it still works as good as it did before. And it is easier flipper now. It does feel better as a flipper. Before it was kind of a little bit on the lazy side. So like it's a little bit better snappy wise now. I was trying to make it light enough to be able to finger flip this one. And for whatever reason, I don't know if it's the lock bar cut out or what it is, because the detent's light now. It's not like it was. Something about that where my hand rides across this or something, I don't know. I might need to make a longer pocket clip to kind of shield part of this. So you can see the lock bar kind of skinny and then goes back fat right there. For whatever reason, my hand lays across this and it just won't work for me. So I don't know if the other Treyu I had was like that or not. I've had several of these now, so I'm not sure if they were or not. But for whatever reason, this one didn't work out how I wanted to. But on the second try, I had got this Marauder H and it was already like I pretty much got it because someone had already done that to it to try to get the detent to be better. And the detent was lined up, but it wasn't great, you know what I mean? So I was like, let me just try the double detent on that. So I did ahead and put an extra hole in that one. Interesting thing is, because this one kind of goes into the out of the blade grind, this one came out money. Like I don't know if you heard it on video or not. It's weird, man. Like it's got like I don't know, what was that? Max Ace Sandstorm. It's got that kind of weird kind of thing. That's kind of what this one does, because it's coming. Let's see if you can see the detent hole that I put in it. And this second detent, when it comes down here, it comes in and out of that blade grind. So you can kind of sort of hear, or remember, it's not the blade grind, it's the finger control. It's interesting, man. It's interesting sound. So it hasn't really like fully developed into that detent track. And when you do this, I think to me, like there's advantages and disadvantages. What I'm finding on the double detent, because it basically like one detent helps one part of the action, like right here, I'm already on the detent, right? So it's smoother, but you can feel that other detent kick in and then come in. So it's like a little bit easier transition. And on the way out, it's just the opposite. So it's on the detent, still on the detent, still on the detent, and then right there it locks. So like it came off and locked. It's on a detent longer, so the action seems smoother because it's on a detent longer. It's just a unique feel, I guess. So it's just hard to put in words, and hopefully it comes in an action. But like this action on this one has never been good. Like I got this knife and I was never thrilled with the action. I did the regrind on it, but I was never thrilled with the action. Now I really like the action on it. So like this was definitely a cool mod that I think worked out well. So I don't know when I won't or when I will use the double detent kind of idea, but I don't know how extensively I'll use it because I'm still experimenting with it, and I ordered a bunch more drills. I'm finding that the size of the detent hole is very crucial. The one in the blade, very crucial to the type of action you want. So I did another one, which I didn't bring out here because I'm an idiot. I did the DSK Javelina. It always was kind of a lighter detent, which is a thumb stud knife, so not that big a deal that it was super light on the detent. But I made it so strong I could barely open the thing now. So like basically I went about 5 thou too big on the hole, so where the detent goes all the way in it, it doesn't have any way to get out of it. If I make the hole bigger, it's going to have that detent lash. So excuse me, I'm kind of in a predicament about how to fix it. So I definitely can get it strong enough. Now I just got to figure out how to get it where I want feel wise, which is good. I'm getting better, right? But the biggest thing this week, 7 minutes in, I can't believe I've held it this long. I sent all the stuff out for heat treat last Friday on FedEx. I don't think T-Mac got it till, I want to say Tuesday he got it. Wednesday he was already showing me pictures of that thing hanging in the oven. And then he sent it back Thursday, already coming back. I was like, what? Already? And he paid for Saturday delivery and wouldn't take a damn cent for it. He just, man, thank you so much, T-Mac. Like, I just, honestly, man, it blows me away. But I'm super thankful, very much appreciative. So the fixed blade, if you don't remember what it looked like, there's the fixed blade one. By the way, I've seen some sneak peeks from Shane Gables for the knife he's designing for Scotch and Things. And like, y'all stay tuned to Shane's. Y'all gonna dig his stuff. But anyway, this is probably like back burner for me right now. This was a fixed blade challenge thing. And when I get done grinding it, I'm gonna hit up Billy and Shane and see if they have the time. But both them guys have work to do. And I talk to them guys somewhat on a regular basis, and they got other things. So like, I'm not really gonna. Instead of making it the 3-way challenge, I'll probably just finish it myself. I don't have a whole lot of interest in making fixed blades, so I'm not really gonna venture into that market too much. But it's cool, you know. First project, I guess, kind of thing. Fixed blade, like, why not? That's my first and only, hopefully, fixed blade for a while. Anyhow, I might make more down the road, but right now, I'm not interested. So while we're talking about stuff coming back from heat treat, I experimented a little bit with, you know, doing the detent before heat treat to see if it made any difference, like if it was change at all. Same with this particular one. I made the lockup. I made it very, very early, but I went ahead and ground the lockup. I know it has to be touched afterwards. You got to knock all that mill scale off or whatever, that oxidizing layer or whatever they call it, carbide layer. I don't know. I'm not into the heat treat thing. I hadn't got there yet. But anyhow, pleasantly surprised. All my holes pretty much stayed the same dimensions. They have a little bit of it's like a crunchier kind of feel to it from the inside, whatever that stuff is that's got on it. So what I'm thinking I'm probably going to do is blast everything before I start and then kind of go back through it. Like I might just lap it. I don't know. I might ream it again. It's not like it's a bad feel. I just want it cleaned up. Like, so order of operations is what I'm having to kind of figure out. But anyway, so the reblade, this stud's just kind of hanging in here. You can see the bolt's a little loose. I got to shorten that bolt, but it just for showing you wise. Like, and I put the finger groove on the back side of this one. But I'm happy to report that all the stuff came exactly how I wanted it. So I'm gonna see if I can show you detent here. It's hard to show you because it's so. Yeah, so yeah, it's snapping in there pretty damn good. So I'm pretty happy with how the detent placement stayed on the Sky finger groove. Everything came out pretty much exactly how I wanted it. So I think at this point, like obviously I didn't do the heat treat, so I don't know anything about that side of things. But obviously if the heat treat's done well, which this seems to be, I should be able to take all the holes dimension wise to exactly what I want to, and then heat treat, so it should be fine. Sorry, the cat was just crawling across me there. So first reblade, and now the Sharif knives, the collab, it's exactly the same way. The detent's not as strong on this one because I use a smaller detent ball. Hopefully you can see that. It's good. Like I think it's fine for a hole opening knife. It wouldn't be good for a flipper. It's not that strong. But what I'm finding is the size of the detent ball plus the length of the lock bar and the thinness of the cutout all affect that detent pressure way more than I had ever anticipated it doing. And I knew this one was more or less like I just had to sneak a detent in there, so it's not optimal placement and that sort of thing. And if you got a keen eye, you can see I'm starting to plug these holes that I messed up on last week. Well, 2 of the holes are right, but the extra hole, I'm just gonna plug them all. So I guess at this point, I've pretty much, this one is not fitted for the lock, but it will kind of sort of, if I loosen up the pivot a little bit, which it is right now, and slam it out, you can see it kind of sort of lock up just a hair, just barely. So it's not far from being done locked up wise. So I think for the foreseeable future, or at least for today and next little bit, I'm gonna try to get this knife to a point where I think it's at least close to done. I don't know that this knife ever will be 100% done. I think I'm just gonna be done with it, if that makes sense. Like I've already made enough mistakes that I know I can make a better knife than this next time. Now I have to make a decision of what kind of grind I want to put on it, and you know, honestly, like none of this knife is how Sharif really had designed it in the first place anyhow. So I'm not too sweating it, and I'm not going to be too fancy with how I finish it. I'm just going to kind of do my thing on it, and if it comes out cool, it's cool. If it don't, then it's knife number 1. It's not that big a deal. But yeah, I got the stuff in last night. I didn't get home until like 6:30 last night, and I wanted to jump in here, go right straight for it, but I needed to collect my thoughts. Like I was so excited, like I was like a kid in a candy store, man. It was to get it all back from heat treat that quick, like literally, like I set in on Friday and get it back on the next Saturday, like, and that's across country. Like I'm in Arizona, he's way on the east side, so east side of the country. So like it was. Thank you so much, T-Mac. I appreciate it, man. So that's gonna be the quick update for today. I know it's a little shorter video, but honestly, man, I'm ready to get working. I'm ready to get into this stuff. It's like, I don't know, just after 6 right here in the morning. So I'm gonna get going. Y'all be cool. Hopefully next week I'll have something a little more finished to show you. Y'all be cool. Later, man.